In 30 AD, Jesus told his disciples what to expect before his return. He said, "Take heed that no man deceive you. When you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, then would be great tribulation, such as the world has never seen. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun would be darkened. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." Matthew chapter 24, verses 4, 15, 21, and 29.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Benjamin Davidson. If you're interested in getting a glimpse of what the future of our world is going to look like, you've come to the right place. This video is part of our Bible Prophecy Basics series, which I think is important for anyone who is curious about the future of our world. Now, why should you listen to me about what the Bible teaches about the future? Well, here's the deal. I am not going to share my personal opinions. Instead, I'll present what the Bible actually says. I'll read passages from the Bible, like the ones that we opened this video with, from chapter 24 in the book of Matthew, which, by the way, are the very words of Jesus, and you can interpret them for yourself. It'll be like working on a big puzzle, and as the pieces come together, the picture of what the future looks like will gradually become clearer and clearer. With escalating wars and political tensions around the world, and the increasing availability of nuclear weapons to conflicting nations, the situation in the world today is more perilous than ever. And on top of all the political crises that are going on globally, moral values in our society have shifted so dramatically over the past 50 years that if your grandparents could see today's world, they would no doubt be shocked. What events are set to unfold in the coming years, and how will they affect you, your family, and your country? In this series, we won't be delving into Bible prophecies that have already been fulfilled, although those prophecies are fascinating and faith-building, but instead we're going to take a look at future prophecies in the Bible that have not yet been fulfilled, and we'll look to see what the implications of these prophecies could possibly be. Many world events have already occurred exactly as predicted in the Bible, strengthening our belief that the prophecies we'll study in this series will also come true in detail. As the verse in Isaiah chapter 34:16 says, "Not one will lack her mate," which means that every prophecy in the Bible will be fulfilled. So let's focus on the most crucial period in future prophecy, the final 7 years of world history. This period marks the last phase of human rule, the unprecedented reign of the devil on earth, and the Antichrist's dominion. We can trust that these upcoming prophecies are true because God's Word has always proven to be true, with events unfolding exactly as they have been foretold. Now, right now, I'd like to provide you with an overview of the events described in the prophecies that we'll be exploring in this series. And as we examine these future events, we'll read specific prophecies from the Bible to see how they might relate to current world events and what they signify for the future. Now, the picture that I'd like to paint here is just an overview of what we're going to get into in this series, but I thought it would be helpful to try to get a vision of the big picture that lies ahead. I'm basing this overview on Bible passages from the books of Matthew, Revelation, and 2 Thessalonians in the New Testament, and from the books of Daniel and Ezekiel in the Old Testament. And as we continue this discussion, we're going to be delving into the specific scriptures which paint this picture of future events. According to Bible prophecy, a significant war is on the horizon, which is often referred to as the atomic war or the oil war, and this upcoming war will result in the near annihilation of part of humanity. During this time, the Antichrist, a figure who will be possessed by the devil, will seize control of the world. Halfway through his 7-year reign, he He'll abolish all other religions and demand global worship. He'll place his image in the holiest site on earth, which is revered by Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. This will be in Jerusalem on Mount Moriah, which is also known as the Temple Mount. Now, the significance of this location in Jerusalem is that this is the place where Abraham is said to have bound Isaac and was going to sacrifice him there. According to the Quran, Muslims believe that it wasn't Isaac who was going to be sacrificed, but Ishmael, Abraham's son, by his handmaiden Hagar. So the Temple Mount is considered to be a very holy place for Jews, Christians, and Muslims, as all three of these religions claim Abraham as the father of their faith. This is also the location where King David chose to build the first Jewish temple, which his son Solomon built around 1000 BC. The Temple Mount is actually not a small space. It measures nearly 150,000 square meters, or about 36 acres, and inside this area of the Temple Mount compound is a sacred Muslim shrine, which is called the Dome of the Rock, which was built around 690 AD, about 1700 years after Solomon built the Jewish temple there. Now, inside the shrine is the rock which the Jews believe Abraham bound his son Isaac to. The Temple Mount overlooks the Western Wall, which is also known as the Wailing Wall. Many people believe that the Wailing Wall is the last remaining remnant of the wall around the old Jewish temple, and it's therefore considered to be one of the Jews' most sacred sites. Many believe this is where Solomon's temple was located until it was destroyed by Babylon in 586 BC to be rebuilt 70 years later. The second Jewish temple was destroyed once and for all by the Romans in 70 AD. I'm telling you all this because it's important to realize the significance of this piece of real estate to both the Jews and the Muslims, as they both claim ownership over it. During the 1967 war in Israel, which is also called the Six-Day War because that's how long it lasted, Israel captured East Jerusalem, the old part of the city where the Temple Mount is located, and annexed it, along with parts of the West Bank, a move that is not recognized internationally. So again, why am I telling you all this? Because this very holy site, the Temple Mount, is tied into Bible prophecies that have not yet been fulfilled, and we need to realize the significance of these holy sites as we look at the prophecies that we're about to study. The Islamic Dome of the Rock Shrine and the Temple Mount area are basically the same place, or very near to where religious Jews today want to construct a third Jewish temple, and where they want to reinstate animal sacrifices just as they did in the days of Jesus. This area will be internationalized under the Antichrist's rule, allowing Christians, Jews, and Muslims to worship freely. This third Jewish temple will be rebuilt, and as you can see by these recent pictures, architectural models of the temple in Jerusalem have already been designed. At the beginning of his reign, the Antichrist will promise 7 years of peace and cooperation among the world's biggest religions, making Jerusalem an open city for all. In part 3 of our Bible Prophecy Basics series, we'll explore 2 remarkable chapters that address the end times, Ezekiel chapters 38 and 39, where the Antichrist invades Israel, conquers the Middle East, and sets up his headquarters in Jerusalem. So please be sure to join us for this discussion, as it will be life-changing for you and your family. And if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, we'd like to invite you to do that right now. And please be sure to also hit the notification button so you'll know each time a new video is posted on our channel. We look forward to seeing you again soon.